morning and welcome to the People's News. I am your host, Anna Shumska, and here with me is historian Gladymar Rivera. This segment is on the controversial topic of Reconstruction. First off, Gladymar, to the viewers who don't know, what is Reconstruction?
Well, Reconstruction was a time period between 1865 to 1877 which followed the Civil War. The purpose of Reconstruction was to strengthen our country. There are many points of view on whether Reconstruction was a success or a failure. In many eyes, Reconstruction was a success, but there are many other people who don't agree. Anna, what is your stance on Reconstruction?
Well, yes, I do believe in there being many successes during Reconstruction, but I believe that Reconstruction was a failure. It brought many negatives to the United States, such as inequality to the people.
Yes, there were many negatives during this crucial time period, but the nation was able to overcome them. To this day, the positives that were established in that time period are still a vital part of our nation's growth today, whereas negatives don't have as big as an impact on us.
Positive or negative, Reconstruction affected all of society, from north to south. The president was Abraham Lincoln, like everyone knows, but no one really understands what his goals really were. What did he want to improve? What did he want to accomplish, and did he?
Between President and Congress. It saw a radical reconstruction of the South, and then saw that reconstruction reversed. It would survive an assassination, a presidential impeachment, and it ended as a compromise to an election scandal. For 4 bloody years, from 1861 to 1865, the United States tore itself.
The Jim Crow laws was a negative effect on society, but it made the U.S. a stronger nation because we learned from our mistakes. Anything that was negative isn't affecting us now. We learned that what we needed, and now we won't make the same mistakes. Besides the many controversies of Reconstruction and segregation, there are other ways that our nation became more united, such as buildings of railroads and bridges. These positive effects made the transportation of goods much easier and socially connected our nations in ways that we never had before.
The railroads did bring our nation together economically, but failed to do socially. There was still much segregation throughout the nation, which took many years to overcome. The creation of these laws only made our nation more segregated. It raised white supremacy to the extent of African Americans being tortured, beaten, and even lynched.
Segregation did take some time for it to stop, but it was expected. Our nation did change its views politically, but of course there would be many citizens to disagree. As time passes on, so does our nation's beliefs.
There was still much conflict between Republicans and Democrats. Andrew Jackson was the president at that time, and the United States wanted to impeach him. The United States couldn't because there was a conflict between the Republican Congress and the Democratic president. The Congress wanted to control the South. Their main goal was to punish them for starting the war. How is punishing our nation beneficial to the growth?
Even though Congress couldn't impeach the president, Andrew Jackson had a big impact on what our nation accomplished. He was the one that followed the thoughts of Abraham Lincoln. He passed many of the things he did for the benefit of our country. Even though the South didn't agree with his actions, he didn't let that get to him.
Either way, our nation wasn't ready for such a big battle and change in a short period of time. All of these issues made our nation grow weaker and made us suffer in the World War. This caused our nation to not do well economically and politically.
Even though our nation wasn't prepared, it isn't like it ever would be due to its strong beliefs on segregation. But our nation did try to change these views. The Freedmen's Bureau March of 1865 was created to help settle disputes and enforce contracts between African Americans and their landowners, and it was able to make the process from slavery to freedom in the South less likely to fail.
Reconstruction, though a controversial time period in American history, must be viewed as a success because it brought equality, a positive outlook on different cultures, and effectively put the nation back together as a whole. This concludes our segment on Reconstruction, and please join us next time on another controversial topic going around in our nation today.